10 Best NCIS Villains ranked highlights the most memorable and impactful antagonists in the long-running series NCIS. The article explores characters like Sergei Mishnev, the Russian mercenary and Gibbs' arch-nemesis, Jonas Cobb, the manipulative port-to-port killer, and Trent Court, a former CIA operative who shifts between ally and foe. It also examines Harper Deering, a grief-stricken terrorist, and Ari Haswari, the Mossad officer-turned-terrorist whose legacy continues to influence the series. These villains brought intense drama, high stakes, and emotional depth, making them key to the show's enduring appeal. 10 Best NCIS Villains, ranked. NCIS, short for Naval Criminal Investigative Service, is one of the longest-running scripted TV shows of all time, which means it has its fair share of memorable villains. Known for its compelling characters and serious drama, the series wouldn't be the same without its unforgettable villains. Its antagonists have brought us some of the best NCIS episodes, filled with tension, mystery, and high emotions. From dangerous masterminds to traitorous insiders, their actions test the team's skills, keeping viewers hooked with every twist. The iconic series is part of a larger world, with a dozen TV shows in the NCIS shared universe. Its thrilling stories have also inspired 8 spin-offs in the NCIS franchise, each offering new curveballs and fresh characters. Since 2003, NCIS has built a powerful legacy of captivating, edge-of-your-seat action that continues to draw in fans, with its legendary foes raising the bar. Sergei Mishnev. NCIS Season 12. Not only is Sergei Mishnev, Alex Vedov, a villain in his own right, but he is also the maternal half-brother of Ari Haswari, the ultimate NCIS antihero. With such predispositions to evil, it's no surprise that Mishnev caused some of the biggest dramas the show has seen. Notably, the Russian mercenary is considered to be Gibbs' arch-nemesis at the time of his appearance, as Gibbs had murdered Haswari earlier in the show. His villainous arc begins with the masterfully staged diner murder, which was so well crafted that it took the team quite some time to connect the dots. The case proved Mishnev to be one of NCIS' most menacing criminals, even though he only lived through one season. Later on, he took on a more physiological approach to torturing Gibbs. Ultimately, he paid the price for his actions and was never mentioned again. Jonas Cobb. NCIS Season 8. First featured in Season 8, Jonas Cobb, also known as the port-to-port killer, is NCIS' most underrated foe. He was responsible for a gruesome string of murders that spanned multiple cities and naval installations, which is how he got his nickname. A former CIA operative, Cobb brought a set of enviable skills to his killing sprees, including master manipulation years after his debut. His impact remains hard to beat, even with new NCIS seasons rolling out regularly. Despite his notorious legacy, Cobb is often overlooked in fans' discussions for unknown reasons. Notably, his kills were not just random acts of violence but part of a twisted game of cat-and-mouse with law enforcement that put the NCIS team to the test. In the end, his tragic past as a failed CIA experiment made him a symbol of systemic failure, not just a monster. Trent Court. NCIS Seasons 4, 5, 6, 8, and 13. Arguably one of the best villains in the NCIS franchise, Trent Court stands out as one of the worst characters because he was both an ally and a foe to the team. He was first introduced in the 4th season as a part of the squad tasked with taking down La Grenouille and was ultimately the one who killed him. NCIS Episode. IMDb Rating. S13, E24, Family First. 9.2/10. Throughout most of his run on NCIS, Court was a neutral character who, at best, irritated DiNozzo. However, as Season 13 rolled around, the former CIA operative openly did a 180-degree turn, becoming one of the series' most complex antagonists to date. By then, he had committed several murders and had even attempted to kill Ziva. Notably, many were shocked to find out that it was actually Court who killed Shepard's father, proving himself to be a serious villain on his own merit. Harper Deering. Seasons 9 and 10. Harper Deering, Richard Schiff, is at the top of the pyramid when it comes to NCIS bad guys. While some might disagree, Deering arguably had one of the most emotionally compelling arcs, making him utterly and tragically relatable. After losing his son to an explosion, Deering is blinded with revenge and becomes a terrorist. His primary targets are Navy ships, as he believes the organization was at fault for his son's death. Despite being featured in a handful of episodes throughout the 9th season and only a single episode in the following chapter, Deering left an undeniable mark on the iconic franchise and established himself as one of its most notorious bad guys. Schiff masterfully embodied a civilian-turned-criminal, blending an air of calmness with underlying madness and thus creating a chillingly complex character we can't forget. Despite being featured in a handful of episodes throughout the 9th season and only a single episode in the following chapter, Deering left an undeniable mark on the iconic franchise and established himself as one of its most notorious bad guys. Ari Haswari. NCIS Seasons 1, 2, 3, and 9. Without a doubt, Ari Haswari is NCIS' most important antagonist. Although the former Mossad officer turned terrorist, played by Rudolph Martin, made his debut in the show's very first season, his legacy remains unparalleled. Haswari made deadly enemies in the second season of NCIS when he fatally shot Caitlin Todd, Sasha Alexander. Most fans have never gotten over the shocking moment, which was one of the most pivotal scenes in the entire series. Notably, Haswari is Ziva's paternal half-brother, which complicates his character's arc and amps up the drama. Nearly 2 decades after his first appearance, his legacy is still felt throughout NCIS. He is mentioned in all but one season through season 17, a feat no other villain has conquered. Notably, Ziva kills Haswari in the 3rd season, marking a full-circle moment as she was the one to take Kate's place in the team after her death.